So for quite a while, I have wanted to do some sort of video presentation or a series of videos on French polishing. So I discovered French polishing about 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. I saw a couple presentations by Eugene Clark, who is considered maybe the best French polisher in the guitar making world, the classical guitar making world. And I became really fascinated with the whole process and the results, of course, that he got, which were extraordinary. I started out after seeing a couple demonstrations by him, reading some modern finishing books, all of which had a chapter or a little section on French polishing, all which were decidedly I was very unenthused about. I then went obsessively collecting old 19th century and early 20th century books on finishing and French polishing. I think at my peak I had about 30. And each book gave me a different notion, a little kernel of information that the other books didn't have. And what was interesting is they all described the process slightly differently. There was commonality, but every finisher had his own way, his own materials, his own methodology. So I began to experiment based on what I had learned, and that's what I'd like to share here. A couple of notes. I'm not a professional guitar maker. I'm decidedly an amateur, a rank amateur now. I'm also not a professional wood finisher or French polisher, but I've learned quite a bit over the years that I thought I could share. After I'd been French polishing for a few years, I wrote what I then thought I knew in an article, posted it on the internet, and it got a lot of attention. This must be, at this point, almost 15 years ago. So basically, I'm going to convert what I wrote into this video series. So what is French polishing? It is a one-step finishing process. Now when I say one step, there are steps to do in French polishing, but you can literally be with the same materials. You can literally be filling the wood, a section of the wood, bodying a section of the wood, spiriting off another section of the wood, all at the same time using exactly the same materials. So we're going to talk about in this series the materials that I use, some of the methodologies that I like. I will try to describe the things that I think are essential versus things that I do, but you can find other and different and better ways perhaps to do them. So let's start out by talking about what are the benefits of French polishing. First, you can create, in my view, a finish that is high gloss, very thin, very flexible, and looks extraordinary and looks natural. A lot of wood finishes look cool, but they look like plastic. They don't even, to my eye, the wood doesn't look real anymore. It no longer looks like a natural material. By the way, in the foreground here, you see the guitar that we're going to work on. And so those are, in my estimation, some of the advantages of French polishing. In the instrument making world, another advantage is a thin build. And the thinner a build that you can get, the more flexible the top and the back of the instrument move. And that, in the belief of many guitar makers, is an advantage in terms of the sound quality of the instrument. So, beautiful natural finish, a finish that will last for many, many years. Unlike other finishes that age, yellow, crack, a French polished finish, treated well, will last decades, generations, and look beautiful. The other advantage to French polishing is it's relatively easy to revive and repair. And we're going to talk about that as well.